Hello everybody, JSR Music here. Welcome back to another video of this week. I'm going to start doing these videos a little more often than I try to, at least. Where I just kind of thought of an idea because I know I told you guys I'd be making more content as much as I can, and I really haven't been following that because one of my own personal issues and lack of ideas, and I'm finally getting over some of these issues that I need to get over soon, and so I've been working on it, so I'm not going to delve any farther into that. But tonight's video, tonight it's like 10:30 where I am right now, or by the time I'm recording this it's 10:30. Tonight's video is going to be to my current top 5 albums of this year so far. This album has gone through a lot of change, and there's a few choices that have either moved from first place to second or third, or some albums that have just been clearly just kicked off the list. With that being said, at the end of this video I will also be discussing some albums that I'm really excited for this year that have had some really promising singles that might be replacing that. Alrighty. I guess to start off the list with number 5 would be the indie albums that I talked about in last night's video of my CD showcase. And number 5 album is going to be the We Are Not Your Kind album from Slipknot. This album was really, really surprising to me because I didn't really get into Slipknot that much, and this has been my first album cycle being a fan of the band. Before really getting into Slipknot a lot, I was really a fan of their bigger hits like Duality, Psychosocial, Snuff, and what's the song? Devil and I. So there's a lot of their bigger hits is what I really listen to as a fan of Slipknot. But with now after We Are Not Your Kind album cycle went through and it coming out, I really decided to delve more into their discography, and I found out I really am liking it a lot, especially the albums All Hope Is Gone and Great Chapter. I want to say those are probably my favorite. Anyways, with that album, it was a really enjoyable album for me. And me personally, what the rumors are, or possible truth. Oh, sorry for that. I'm quite tired, but you know what? I don't care about editing this because I don't feel like it. Anyways, with that being said, as I was saying, there's the rumors, or there might be true if they were confirmed, is We Are Not Your Kind might be Slipknot's final album. You know what? Honestly, this album was really good to me. Honestly, and I think that it'd be a good album for them to end their discography on. Very enjoyable, very, very good flowing album. Next up, we go to a band I discovered because they started following me on Instagram a while back. A band called Forever Still. Forever Still to me is a band based in the Netherlands, I believe. It's a female-fronted hard rock to metal band, or more hard rock than anything, with some metal tinges in it. That gives me a lot of Evanescence vibes, but it's also a heavier Evanescence is what I get from the band. And honestly, I really do enjoy it. And this album is called Breathe in Colors. And this album, when I first listened to it, I didn't really like it that much, but after like my 4th or 5th listen, I really started to really like it a lot, and like, this is a really good band. And it was a pretty solid pick. It was at one point my number 1 for a while, and as mentioned at the beginning of this video, my list has changed quite a bit. So from going on from Breathe in Colors is an album that was number 1 ever since it came out until these two albums, the last 2 albums I'm going to talk about, came out, and that would be Conspiracy by The Raven Age, another very, very unknown and underrated band. The Raven Age is from London, I believe, or Bristol, London, and they are so fucking good. If you were a fan of clean vocal metal with amazing guitars, insane drums, amazing vocals and lyrics, and just a lot of deeper meaning behind some songs, listen to The Raven Age. I will also be posting some Spotify links in the description or in the comments below for you to listen to them for each album. so you guys can give your opinions on them and let me know what you think. So that's number 3, and that is Conspiracy by the Raven Age. Number 2 is by a Christian, or by, I believe, a Christian metalcore band that goes by the name of Wolves at the Gate. Wolves at the Gate, newest album Eclipse came out on July 27th, I believe, and I plan to do a review of this pretty soon. This album blew me away at how good it was the day it came out. Before this last one I'll be talking about on the list it was originally I Prevail's newest album, Trauma, was on this list at one point, but that got kicked off because of the last album on number 1. But for a while, my list consisted of of Conspiracy, Breathe in Colors, Trauma, another album, and then another one. I forget they are. But Eclipse is such a good album. It flows so incredibly well. It's very, very enjoyable. Last album I will be discussing for number 1 of this year that I do not see moving from this list whatsoever. That would be the newest, and I bet some of you saw this coming, the newest Tool album, Fear Inoculum, which I in fact finally was able to order a copy tonight because I saw on the band's Instagram that they were putting it out for sale for one more day. I'm like, this is mine, I need one. So I purchased the deluxe edition as what was available. It's a big chunk of cash for a CD, but it was also really worth it because it's been 13 years. Anyways, Fear Inoculum is my number 1 album of this year. I don't see it moving from that spot whatsoever because of the fact of how much I love the album, how many times I've listened to it, how many times I've listened to certain tracks on repeat, and how many things that I've felt that this album was perfect for and why I liked it so much in my review I did. But anyways, those are my top 5 albums of this year. And now I'm going to discuss a couple of albums that are to come out in a few days. Actually, about a week or so. That would be the 3rd studio album from the band, I believe, in Ohio. I believe that's where they're based off. And that is Starset. Starset is a pretty popular band from my knowledge. For a long period of time, I didn't really like them that much because I didn't like I wasn't the biggest fan of their first album, Transmissions, because I felt their electronics and the auto-tune of the vocals was a little too overbearing. But that was all entirely my opinion. And over time, when they released their second album in 2017, Vessels, I fell in love with the band. Vessels is an absolutely amazing album. And I listened to it on repeat many times. And I still like it. I still love it to this day. But they were doing all cryptic stuff on all their social media by removing every single old post they had, and realizing that they were releasing a brand new album on September 13th titled Divisions. They released 4 singles: Manifest, Where the Skies End, Diving Bell, and Stratosphere. Stratosphere was released today, and I am not the biggest fan of that single, but the other 3 are absolutely phenomenal. Manifest is amazing. Where the Skies End is probably tied for first place as my favorite one, and Diving Bell being my very first favorite of the singles. But overall, Divisions is hyping up to be probably a new contender for my list, and might be knocking off Breathing Colors by Forever Still. Another album that's really shaping up to be really good, and that's going to be the newest studio album by a Christian hard rock band, Disciple. Disciple's newest album, also coming out September 13th, titled Love Letter Kill Shot, is looking to be so phenomenal. It's ridiculous. They've released 4 singles: Cuff the Criminal, Panic Room, Reanimate, and Play to Win, I believe. Cuff the Criminal was a very interesting approach to the album. Panic Room was some classic Disciple with some newer tinges in it, which was pretty enjoyable. But then Reanimate comes out, and oh my god, Reanimate is easily my favorite single from them, possibly one of my favorite songs of all time by Disciple. And saved me so many old Disciple vibes, like from like 2010's Horseshoes and Hand Grenades kind of stuff, and that's easily one of their best albums. To maybe even Scars Remain kind of stuff. That's what I got from that single. And then Play to Win's kind of like the Radio Rock song. Now he probably was playing on other rock stations that are clean. But anyways, those are the two albums that I'm really looking forward to this year that might be replacing two other albums, or maybe one, depending how they both are, on my list. Overall, I'd say I have a pretty good roster, pretty good wide selection of albums for this year. Let me know what your guys' albums are, top 5 albums of this year so far, down below, and give me your thoughts. I will also be, as I mentioned earlier, I'll be posting the Spotify links, or whatever you want to listen to, or you can search them up on YouTube, in the comments or the description. Haven't decided yet, but you'll probably see it when this album, when the video comes out, for the links. As always, guys, I'm JSR Music. Have a great rest of your day. Keep rocking.